Yesterday was Parashat Zachor, and as always, I am in synagogue. I happen to be in Tel Aviv with my family for that Shabbat. And while we were in synagogue, the Sirens started, and the attack of the U.S. and Israel against Iran had begun. And so we all went down to the safe room. And the truth of the matter is, we found ourselves in a safe room for the majority of Shabbat. And I wanted to share with you two thoughts around what's going on now. One thought is a Torah gloss, kind of a perspective from Torah in terms of what it is that we're watching, and one just a personal experience that I wanted to share with you, which I'll share at the end. The first one is the Torah perspective, and that is this. This has never happened before. For Israel as a sovereign nation, right? So Israel has been a sovereign nation on this land, meaning land of Israel, for hundreds of years at different iterations and intervals. And this is the modern iteration, which is a miracle of our times. And during that time, Israel has waged countless wars. I mean, they're told about in our prophets and in the Bible. Although Israel certainly has allied with other nations in its history to be able to fight wars against common enemies, the allies have never been quite the caliber and level of the United States of America. The United States is a world leader, if not the world leader among nations today. The United States has the most powerful military of any country in the world. And it is allying with Israel. Israel is 77 years old, and it has a formidable army. And to recognize that that alliance is happening not as kind of a military move here and there, but as a joint endeavor to be able to attack Iran, to topple the regime, and to ultimately change the face of the dynamics of the Middle East for the better, recognizing that Iran for the past close to 50 years has been an architect and an inciter of terror, of bloodshed, of suffering, of subjugation, of oppression of their own people and people around the region, not the least of which Israel and the assets of the United States of America. This is a very powerful alliance. When I look at this alliance, and I look at it from a biblical perspective, and because, there are some things that are so epic, they are biblical. And what it reminds me of is the story in Genesis, in the 33rd chapter of Genesis, in which Jacob, Yaakov Avinu, our forefather, has to meet up with his twin brother Esav again after over 20 years of being essentially estranged from him. And it is a meeting that is fraught with uncertainty because he has no idea how Esav is going to meet him. He knows that when he left Esav the first time, Esav wanted to kill him. Now, of course, these are the father figures of nations that will come from them. So you have Yaakov and you have Esav. We, of course, the children of Israel, the nation of Israel, are the descendants of Yaakov. Esav has several children and very different aspects of his family. And his own family doesn't always get along, right? But this meeting of these heads of the families is paradigmatic. It is a symbol for what will happen later on in history. And I think that what we're watching today is an element of that. This is no question about the fact that this is a pivotal historical event. It's very known that the Hachamim see the West as a manifestation of our twin brother, Esav. And so it is biblical in a sense. So what happens in this meeting? Yaakov finally meets up with his brother, and his brother is coming towards him, and he's still not sure how it is that Esav is going to greet him. Is he going to fight him? Is he going to massacre him? Is he going to recognize him? He's going to let bygones be bygones. It's not known. What Yaakov does when he sees Esav, astonishingly, is bow before him 7 times. He bows in front of Esav 7 times as he comes closer to him. And as Esav sees this, finally Esav runs to Yaakov, embraces him, kisses him, and they cry upon each other. And I find that to be one of the most poignant, moving episodes of the entire Bible, because you have a situation here in which, first of all, the complexity of the human condition is brought out, right? These are two brothers that feel complex ways about each other, right? They grew up in the same house. Remember that Esav is the son of Yitzhak and Rivka, like we are the son of Yitzhak and Rivka. Abraham and Sarah are his grandparents. And he sees his twin brother, who he grew up with, runs to him, embraces him, cries upon him, and kisses him. And the Hachamim say that the cries and the kiss is ambivalent. It is complex. As a matter of fact, the word in the Torah says Vaishakehu, which means that Esav kissed Yaakov, has dots at the top of it. And the dots at the top of it mean that there's more there than just a loving kiss. There may be more than just the loving kiss that is there. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says it was a genuine kiss of love for his brother, and that Esav was loving Yaakov at that time. That what caused his emotions to emerge was the fact that Yaakov bowed before him. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says, Halacha, Esav sonet Yaakov, right? I mean, we accept it as a given, essentially, that Esav hates Yaakov. And that is a truth. But there is an element of Esav that loves his brother. And it isn't always easy for that love to come out because of the difficulty between them. But it is there. And it does come out at times. And in this episode, Yaakov hugs Esav, Esav kisses Yaakov, they cry on each other, and all of the dissonance and difference and animosity and resentment, and even hatred on Esav's part, is overcome by the love and the bond that exists in an underlying way between these brothers. And watching the United States and Israel fight this fight against Iran is very reminiscent of that level of bond between Yaakov and Esav. And I think that being that this is one of the most historic and pivotal events in recent history, certainly in terms of how it will manifest for the United States and how it will manifest for Israel, and how it will manifest for the relationship between those countries, the fact that there is a biblical aspect to it, right, in the more primal paradigmatic sense, is meaningful. And that these twins, these twin brothers, somehow are very much a part of the future of mankind. It's beautiful, I think, that the United States and Israel are choosing to fight an evil regime together, that the twin brothers are aligning in order to be able to do this. Grandchildren of Abraham and Sarah and the children of Yitzhak and Rivka choose to jointly align and do something good for the world. Well, they probably are unstoppable. That's the Torah bit. The personal bit is that, I was in Tel Aviv and we had to, like I said, spend a great deal of time in the miklat, in the safe room, which was a massive safe room under a park, right? So we would go into that safe room and there were all different kinds of people there, all different kinds of Jews. It also hit me when I was down there with my children and my brothers and sisters, essentially, that were, part of the nation of Israel, that Iran, that the people who condemn us, that the people who support them, and there are many, many, many people in the world, more than we would like to see, that do support them. The people that were silent as Iran was massacring tens of thousands of its own citizens, that didn't feel that the Iranian people should be liberated. They are against the Jewish people. And when they look at the Jewish people, they don't think about what kind of Jews are they. They just see them as Jews. And in that safe room yesterday, when I was sitting with all of them, over Shabbat, on Parashat Zachor, when we have to remember what Amalek did to us, it strengthened my resolve to love the Jewish people wherever they are. Because I looked around the room and there were all different people there, from different backgrounds and living their lives very differently. But in that room, we were all the Jewish people, and people that were choosing to build their lives in this country, in this nation. And so it was extremely moving to see, and I found a great deal of unity in that. I want to say to anybody who's listening to this all around the world. Please do pray for the Jewish people here in Israel. Please pray for the Israeli Defense Forces, for the Tzva Haganah Israel, for the American soldiers who are fighting, and for any allied soldiers who are fighting this important fight, that they be successful, that they meet no danger, and that their enemies are subjugated and defeated, and that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bless us all of Am Yisrael, all of the nation of Israel, wherever it is that we may be found in the world, in solidarity, in unity, and in strength. And we should see, please God, the redemption and the coming of the Mashiach. I wish everyone a very, very happy Purim. May God bless Israel. May God bless the United States of America and all who care for them.